Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Moritz here again from NBA Rugby, and yeah, today we're talking quarterfinals. It was a bit of a mixed bag, wasn't it? Not the results that we actually expected or wanted. Sincere condolences to the Scarlets. I mean, I really had some high hopes for you guys. But facing off against Leinster, I guess, hoping for a second victory there would have been a bit, bit unrealistic. I don't know. I doubt that Leinster would have tried to make the same mistakes that as they made before. But coming to my boys, the Stormers, not the performance we wanted to see. Um, And then, of course, we'll also be talking about the Sharks versus Munster. That was quite an entertaining one, especially at the end. And then, of course, the Bulls against Edinburgh. And it was quite an entertainment weekend all around. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, well, first up, I'm going to basically be talking about the Stormers versus Glasgow Warriors. On the Friday night last weekend, not the performance we wanted at all. I stood up and I said the Stormers are their own worst enemies. I mean, their attack movements had so many errors in it, unforced ball handling errors. It was just, it was tough to watch. Eventually, at some point, they made a gallant effort. And well done to Siabelo Sinatla for the 2 tries scored by him. Players like Sasha van Zulu really pulled out all the stops, trying to create some lasting impressions and hopefully some goal scoring opportunities, but it didn't just pan out. I mean, on top of that, the defense was just not what it should be. Not what it was the week before, to be honest. I don't know why. It seems like the Stormers curse is carrying on. They keep losing when they're overseas, and seems to be to be winning whenever they're playing home. But I mean, a rugby field is rugby field. Yes, the crowd is pretty much biased towards the home team, and it showed. I mean, with the amount of boos that rang out in the Glasgow arena, and which is also what I was pretty disappointed at. I mean, I've always been, an advocate of the spirit of the game, and in my opinion, just booing the ref, booing players, it's not within the spirit of the game. We all can have a fantastic, weekend of rugby entertainment without resorting to that kind of sort of childish responses, especially when a penalty doesn't go your way, or it just leaves a bit of a bad taste in the mouth. But injuries galore as well. Someone Murat going off very early in the game with a head injury assessment, didn't come back as he failed it. And I don't know what his future is going to be like, especially if he's going to be accepted back into the Springboks with this head injury that keeps plaguing him. This is, I think, about the 3rd or 4th time he has gone off with a concussion. Then we also saw leaving the field, obviously, Dan Duplessis, that you'll keep getting confused with that. Went off with a shoulder injury, as far as I could understand, and it didn't do the Stormers any kind of favors. Dan Duplessis is a very, very hard player. Plays, very well. Always gets into the rough of it. To try and fetch that ball. If there was a ball in the ruck, he always tries to go and fetch it there. And Sasha Feinberg-Zulu not quite finding the empty spaces behind Glasgow lines. So the up and overs, although being chased up by, especially Sinatla, didn't deliver any kind of results really. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing performance by them. Praise to the to all the other players that really did do well, especially on Glasgow Warriors side. You guys performed admirably. The Glasgow performance was, tight. The defense just couldn't be broken through. The attacks were strategic, almost surgical, and it's stuff that the Stormers just couldn't recover from. I think it was eventually a 31-18 final result, which just we couldn't even score one try to bring ourselves within the 7-point loss, and with that the Stormers are out of the URC run-up. It's just wasn't what we were looking for. Ball position predominantly on the side of the Stormers, and it just basically is the testament of the defense of the Glasgow Warriors. These guys their ranks was absolutely tight. We just couldn't break through. Ball handling errors was also skyrocketed on the Stormers side. They start an attack movement, goes very well for like 3 or 4 or 5 phases, and then a ball fumble happens, an up over happens, and we kick possession away. We knock it on, hard luck to Venter, who, out of the loose scrum had a golden opportunity, or out of the ruck, to retrieve the ball, have a golden opportunity to score a try, and he knocks it forward. The disappointment on his face and the way he slapped the ball, it was absolutely palpable. Just also was a kind of a demonstration and testament of the overall morale of the Stormers there. Just the frustration was running high, and it was quite amazing that they didn't take it a level further. Sort of as it happens in rugby games, to take their frustrations out on the opponent's side, but very little kind of scuffles or ruk and pluck as they call it. But yeah, not the performance we were looking for. The Stormers really need to jack up their game, and they will have a hard road ahead. I have seen that John Dobson is in kind of hot water, once he's arrived back home, and his future is a bit uncertain at this point in time as well. Will he still be coaching for the Stormers, or will he have to move aside for somebody else at this stage? Who knows? Leave me comments, in the comments field below, and let me know what your thoughts were on the Stormers' performance, and especially the Glasgow Warriors' victory. Also, Andrew Brace, I believe that was the referee for them. Cannot blame the ref for any of it. He called it down the middle. There was quite a few misses by him. Like seatbelt tackles, high tackles, that he did miss, but on both sides. So you can't. Glasgow Warriors can't be blaming him. The Stormers can't be blaming him. He has kind of either ignored or missed a couple of high tackles on our side as well. So yeah, well, you could say what the future holds, but we are rolling forward. Towards the end of this year, the URC will start up again, and hopefully the Stormers can try and make something better of it in the next season. Okay, so the Sharks game, it was nail-biting. I think that is probably the best way to describe it. They were neck on neck the entire time in that whole game. Munster made an absolute brilliant push for the victory on that. Eventually the game kind of stalled at 24 each, around about the 80-minute mark. Quite a few blunders, quite a few hectic attack movements by both teams, and the defense held for as long as it could. Tries galore, rang out from both sides. I mean, it's just, they were equally matched in every single sense of the word. Their defense was spot on. The attack movements was sometimes surgical and deadly. Also, with Jordan Hendricks, his kicking was just fantastic. And Bradley Davids, the hero of the match. Kind of, and I think it was, especially for this young kid under such pressure to perform so well. I really have to congratulate him, and I'm pretty sure that the Springbok recruiters will be keeping an eye on him for the foreseeable future. Sharks' overall performance, I can't really complain. Even with, they have got all this, most of the Springboks in the team. Oxen Chair was performed well, with quite a lot of meters made, ball carries by him, strong ball carries. Pretty much, the entire team. Bongi Munambi made such an impact, and so as well did Eben. It's a bit. Again, Apelele Fassi, just absolutely fantastic play by the fullback there. And Jaden Hendricks, I'll get back to him in a bit later, we'll talk about him. But also Munster with Jack Crowley, Morris, and, his whole team was just absolutely fantastic. The ball handling, ball movement through attack movements and everything was just, the up and overs was surgical, the follow-ups, a lot of energy. The Sharks had a lot of difficulty to try and slow the game down as soon as it became a Munster's ball. And but overall it was just absolutely entertaining. It was edge of the seat stuff, really. If you can find the highlights somewhere online, you really have to watch it. It was just absolutely fantastic. And then we came to the the overtime. Afterwards, the full-time siren goes, and it's 24 each. So again, they had to play 10 minutes aside for both Munster and the Sharks. And no points scored in overtime. The defense held. The attack movements was just a completely energetic, brutal match, to say the least. And it was fantastic to watch. An absolute pleasure to behold this game. And then we came to the kickoffs. Now, how the kickoffs worked, it was, taken from the 22-meter line, 3 possessions. Angle kick from the left-hand side, angle kick from the right-hand side, and then the center kick. And then they obviously move sort of 20 meters back, plus minus 20 meters to the 40 meter outline, and or to 40 meters out, and they do the same. 3 kicks each for each team. So they came to Jordan Hendricks. He nails it at the I think the left hand the right hand side angle. The Jordan Hendricks takes the middle line. He hits it. Absolutely no problems there. Bradley Davids, a bit nervous, a lot of stress on him, but he quite confidently made his kick from the left hand side angle, and came to Munster. Jack Crowley, Morris, spot on. Hit it every single time, and Skinner, not so lucky. Unfortunately, or was it Renner? I can't remember now. He misses the first kickoff, so now it goes back to the 40 meters mark. Jaden hits it, or Jordan hits it, and now it comes to Jaden. And here I'd like to pause for a bit, because this was this was the kind of material for controversy out of the top shelf. After Jaden Hendricks lined up his shot, he takes the shot, absolutely nails it right through the center, and he goes down with a cramp. EMTs come on, they start just, sort of looking at him, everything. Jack Crowley sets up his shot, and he gets basically delayed by the referee, telling him, okay, hang on, Angus basically stops him and tells him, okay, hang on, we've got a bit of an issue here. He's in sort of within your range, kind of delivering a bit of obstruction here. Eventually the EMTs manage to move Jaden a bit further away, and Jack Crowley takes a shot. He hits it, but as he basically turns around, there comes a little smile and a wink from Jaden Hendrickse, and it sets the Irishman into a fit of rage, swearing. I mean, you can literally see him mouthing off, with a gesture telling Jaden to fuck off. It was just, you're kind of like, is this genuine now? So you see this and you're like, was this a setup? Is this kind of a mind games playing? Even though the announcer kind of started wondering if this wasn't a sort of an elaborate mind game sort of, being played by Jaden at this stage to kind of try and throw Jack Crowley off his game. And yeah, it was just, it was fantastic to watch. Sorry, I just have to add as well that the Irish took their shots first from the 40-meter mark, and then the Sharks did. So yeah, it was first Jaden, then it was Skinner, then it was Jordan, then it was Skinner, then it was Jaden taking his shot, getting the cramp, then Jack Crowley taking his shot, and now it is basically all coming down to Bradley Davids setting up his shot. If he misses and Morris hits, Ireland might very well go home with the title, because it comes down to then the Sharks will, no, it comes down to points, I think. Overall points scoring within the URC, and I think the Sharks would have won that. They did have more points on the board on the log really than Munster, but and Bradley Davids sets it up. If he hits it, it's over. They don't even go to Morris, and yeah, so Bradley Davids takes the shot, hits it, game's over. Sharks won. Hitting 3 out of 3 kickoff goals to the Munsters, 6 out of 6 to the Munsters, 5 goal shots in the last closing minutes of the game. But now I also would just want to come back to the whole Jaden Hendrickse controversy. Rassie kind of weighed in afterwards, posting on his Twitter account the photograph of a close-up of Jaden Hendrickse's calf, and you can clearly see the muscle contraction and it's gone to an absolute spasm. There's no way a person can hold that kind of spasm for that long, and especially in the when you have a cramp in your calf muscle, and especially EMTs come in, they bend the foot the other way or towards the player upwards, and you can't maintain that. If it is fake, you can't maintain that that spasm. So one would wonder, it's the evidence shows that the cramp was real, but now with that little smile and a wink, that kind of raises questions in everybody's minds, and the internet has been an absolute buzz with that little thing. But it was just kind of entertainment with the mind games, just absolutely set the internet ablaze, and it was just kind of a little cherry on top to end the game off. But it was absolutely wonderful. Let me know your comments in the comments field. What do you think of the whole Jaden Hendrickse controversy, and of course the Sharks' performance going into the semi-finals now? Do you think they have a chance? Who knows? I'll reveal their opponents towards the end of this video. And then we come to the Bulls versus Edinburgh, and this was also quite of a nail-biting game. Edinburgh starting off very strong in the first half, constantly badgering the Bulls' defense, and that led to an unfortunate incident with de Klerk trying to charge down a sort of an up and over by the Edinburgh wing, and ended up shouldering the guy in the face. So Adam Jones basically took a bit of a look at the TMO recording and kind of concluded that this was rather high degree of danger, although mitigation. It was just, momentum, I suppose, although it is the defending player's responsibility to get out of the way once the kick has been taken. And there wasn't really any kind of a realistic reason to believe that he would have made the charge down. Okay, so not a very high degree of danger, but still quite a degree of danger. I mean, he laid the man out on the field. So the referee, Adam Jones, concluded that it was worth a yellow card. Wasn't referred to the bunker. So luckily for de Klerk, he only got 10 minutes in the sin bin, but that just opened up opportunity for Edinburgh to score 2 tries against the Blue Bulls, and from then on it kind of was a bit of an uphill battle for the Bulls until the second half, where they did started doing exceptionally well. Started racking in the tries, racking in the goal kicks, and they just sort of cut loose. Adam Jones again didn't take a lot of shit in this match. He was calling it straight down the middle for most of the time that I could remember. It didn't take any kind of penalties lightly. And the Bulls, of course, any referee makes mistakes. Like I said, you can excuse the odds. Didn't see this high tackle, didn't see the seatbelt tackle, didn't see this offside kind of result. But a referee cannot be everywhere on the field, and sometimes some minor infractions do get ignored in favor of the flow of the game. So he would rather settle for calling advantage than just stopping play altogether. And all round fantastic performance by the Bulls, but not to count out Edinburgh. They also did really well, and it was just it was just a very fun, entertaining game to watch. Willie Leroux was up to his absolute perfect best again, creating try-scoring opportunities, all over the show, with his up and overs, his ground kicks. We had Davids, Keenan Davis, that really also did quite well with his kicking. Did miss, I think, the first or second conversion that he did, but overall, not a bad performance by him. He's also a really good up and coming player, but I really would be focusing on Bradley Davids. Fantastic performance by that young lad. It's maybe a kind of replacement for Sia Masuku in the future. Although I think Sia's, although he is, he's been out for, with injury for quite some time, but I think, he will be anxious to be coming back to the game as well. Final score to the Bulls, 42-33. Kanan Moody also suffered an injury, basically not taking off permanently, but did go off for a while, coming back with a massive sort of bandage around the head. Did very well. Himself as him and Sashifama Kumzulu are the kind of daredevils of the rugby game. Take very few precautions, as far as their own safety is concerned, but always striving for putting the opponents under pressure, looking for those goals, looking for the line breaks, which Edinburgh also tried very hard to do. Wasn't very easy. The Bulls' defenses were quite solid, and overall fantastic performance by both teams. I can't really say much else about it. Again, the four teams now knocked out this weekend: the Scarlets, Munster, uh, um, Stormers, and then of course Edinburgh. So we are marching on to the semi-finals this coming weekend, and I feel it is going to be a bit of a doozy. Difficult to predict who's going to make it through, but yeah. um, at this point, I think we just kind of enjoy the entertainment as now the kind of lines has been drawn and the road to the finals has been solidified. But yeah, keep watching there here for a second or two to see my predictions. And now finally, just before I sign off, I want to talk about the up and coming semi-finals, basically. But first, let me just congratulate the Scarlets on a game well played. You guys, unfortunately, didn't win. Did very well. Some really great performances by you guys. 21-33 loss. I think it's a better score than most other teams can say when they go up against Leinster, especially when you're making the field with this man. Yes, of course, I'm talking about Sneeman, Ragnar, the son of Sneeman, and I think he probably look a bit better like this, don't you think? But anyway, congratulations to you guys. You fought hard. Unfortunately, didn't make it, but I think you can pat yourself on the back. You have made some great strides and great improvements since the beginning of the URC season. And as we now march on to the past the finals for this season, the second season will be starting pretty soon. Then after that, so yeah, good luck for the future and all that. I think you guys really can do can surprise us all in the future seasons coming for the URC. Then the road to the finals. Of course, it's the semi-finals coming up this weekend, and we'll be seeing Leinster versus Glasgow Warriors, as well as the Bulls versus Sharks. So it looks like only one South African team might be going through to the finals. Which I suppose is what one could expect. Glasgow Warriors versus Leinster. Guys like Dooley and although Glasgow Warriors, they've got Tuipulotu, which is a rising star within the rugby scene. Incredible young man, honestly. We do have Sneeman in the Leinster squad, as well as one of the Barrett brothers, Geordie Barrett. He's been performing really well within Leinster this last season, and I think this is sort of his contract ends end of the season, where he'll be going back to the All Blacks. He sort of just took a bit of a, I don't know if you could call it sabbatical. Still playing rugby, but yeah. Some really great matches to look out for. I think Leinster, Glasgow Warriors. Leinster's, I think, with fairly high confidence that they will be taking it with, say, a 7-point margin, a 5 to 7 point margin, I think. And then the Bulls versus Sharks. This is going to be a tough one because these teams have really jacked up their games ever since they went into the playoffs. The Sharks, I've got a fairly good chance of winning, but I think the Bulls will probably take this one with, say, a marginal 3 points or 1 point maybe. It's going to be a tough one. It really is going to be a tough one for this weekend. Knocked out, of course, the Scarlets, Edinburgh, Stormers, and Munster. Hard luck, guys. You will be sitting on the sidelines, for the semis and the finals. You can still attend. Obviously, you'll just have to buy a ticket. But it is going to be a tough one for the remaining teams. We are quite positive of having a fantastic weekend of some great rugby. But please, leave me a like and subscribe. And give me your comments on at the bottom of in the comments field. And let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to take the semi-finals of each of those ones, and by which margin? What is your prediction there? But as always, guys, keep well from a very cold Cape Town. If you do stay in Cape Town, keep warm and take care of yourselves and your family. Peace out.